Gotcha. So what scene are you doing?
I have a scene from The Office.
Okay.
It's Michael and Katie. It's the
Oh, good.
the pretty
The
girl.
one where you're kind of impressing her?
Exactly.
Okay. So what is your objective?
To impress.
So to impress, and what is your emotion?
Exactly.
Alright. So we'll do this real fast, okay? So we're gonna just do a little bit of the first page. I want you to start thinking to impress her, to impress her, to impress her, to impress her. Go ahead.
You usually don't break the. You usually don't let.
Try to impress me. I'm bored.
Okay, gotcha. I usually don't let solicitors into the office.
You don't have to do it so fast.
Gotcha.
Just slow down. Try to impress me. Try
I
harder.
usually don't let solicitors into the office. But today, I'm gonna break the rules. The conference room, it's all yours.
Thanks.
And
Try to impress me.
There's more.
I know. There's an HR meeting in there at 11:30. Try to impress me.
Well, let's put them in the hallway. We'll give them some chairs, right? Hey, decisiveness. That's the key to success according to small businessman, right? Yes, I do. I read small businessman.
Try harder to
And
impress me.
I also subscribe to USA Today
Try to impress me.
and the American Way. You know, it's an in-flight magazine. And they got some great articles in that. They did this piece on Doris Roberts.
I'm bored. Try to impress me.
This great piece on Doris Roberts and where she likes to eat when she's in Phoenix.
She likes to eat where she's in Phoenix? Oh my God, it was Doris Roberts. Amazing. Amazing. Try to impress me. You understand?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So go ahead. This is my from some great articles in that.
They got some great articles in there.
Try to impress me.
All right. So they got some great articles in there. They did this piece on Doris Roberts and where she likes to eat when she's in Phoenix. Illuminating.
Okay, good. So we'll go that far. All right. So what is your emotion?
Anxiety.
All right. So now we're gonna do it with anxiety. Okay. So we're gonna have you take some breaths with anxiety, and I'm gonna have you do it with the objective. So we're kind of skipping around a little bit with the steps just to speed it up. Okay. So inhale, exhale, say anxiety.
Anxiety.
And again.
Anxiety.
Inhale, exhale, then say it.
Anxiety.
Inhale, exhale, then say it.
Anxiety.
Good, just like that. Now
Anxiety.
start thinking your objective to impress her, to impress her, to impress her.
Anxiety.
Go ahead.
Anxiety.
Inhale, exhale, say a few lines.
Anxiety.
Go. I usually don't. Keep breathing heavy. I usually don't allow.
Anxiety. I usually don't allow solicitors in the office, but today I'm gonna break some rules.
Breathe.
The conference room, it's all yours.
Thanks. There's an HR meeting in there at 11:30. Inhale, exhale.
Well, we'll put them in the hallway. We'll get some chairs. Right? Decisive, right? Right? Decisiveness. The key to success in
Inhale,
small
exhale.
business.
Keep breathing heavy. Are you dizzy?
Yeah, I'm super dizzy.
Okay, good. Breathe. Doing good.
Right? I'm pretty dizzy.
Okay, so stop for a second. Just relax. You're doing good. That's good. It's your workout for today.
All right.
Okay, just tell us when you're ready. No pressure.
Wow, it's like right here. It's crazy.
All right. Well, he should have that
Right.
because this girl is so hot that
Right.
he can't even see straight. We're talking about farce.
Right.
So you have to have that. If you don't have it, she's just another girl.
Gotcha.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pick it up from, well, let's put him in the hallway.
All right.
Okay, so inhale, exhale, say anxiety.
Anxiety. Anxiety.
I'm not dropping your objective. Just start thinking to impress her, to impress her, to impress her, to impress her, to impress her. Go ahead. Keep breathing heavy.
Well, we'll put them in the hallway. We'll get some chairs.
Inhale, exhale.
Decisiveness, right? All right? Decisiveness. The key to success for the small businessman.
Inhale, exhale.
Yes, I do. I read Small Businessman. I also subscribe to the USA Today and the American Way.
Breathe.
It's an in-flight magazine.
Uh-huh.
They got some great articles in there.
Breathe.
They did this. They did this. They did this profile on Doris Roberts and where she likes to eat when she's in Phoenix. Illuminating.
Good. All right. So we go that far. Okay. So that would be the step where you breathe heavy while you're thinking your objective. Okay.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Max, you have a question?
I do. So you've probably said this, but right here, what was the purpose of the breathing?
The breathing is to charge you and train your brain and your body to be lightheaded in the scene so that when you actually do the scene, your body will remember to be lightheaded. Because you have to have that lightheaded intensity in order for the audience and for you to convince me that the stakes are high. So if you don't have that when you're around this girl that's like the most beautiful girl in the world, I'm not going to believe you're into her as much as you should be.
So it's kind of like taking a physical action to induce a state.
I suppose, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Don talks about it being similar to exercising.
Okay.
You know, so again, the idea is whenever you're acting in a scene, you have to have that lightheaded intensity in you in order for the audience. Look, the reality is when you have a lot of emotion in a scene, it's more interesting. That's just the flat out truth. I mean, if you watch any great movie, look at their eyes and look at that light, that sort of electricity in their eyes and that heat you can feel from every pore in their body. That's what the breathing and the attempt to get your objective does. So we train our body to do that through the breathing exercise and through training our brain to fight for our objective. So we have a conflict between me and my scene partner, and a conflict between me and my brain and me and my body. So I'm creating all this tension so that when I just let go in the scene, the body is going to be intense.
It's like a fight or flight state.
Sure, I guess, again, you know, yeah, okay, sure, yes. Fight or flight, yes. Yeah, whatever, I mean, however you see it, as long as you get lightheaded and you're intense and you're doing the breathing exercise, I'm a happy guy. Okay, so we can call it fight or flight or whatever.
Well, I'm just trying to relate it to something that sounds like what I'm hearing.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I think I do.
Yeah. The goal, basically, if you're not lightheaded in the scene, you're failing. Is that clear enough?
Sure.
Yeah. If you're not lightheaded in the scene when you're doing it, if you're not like, then you're failing. Because you're not, you know, as electric as you should be. So the question is going to be, how do I make my character electric? By training my brain and my body to have it through breathing, through the objective, so that when I actually just execute the scene, it's there without me having to breathe heavy, because the entire technique is built around muscle memory. So we'll call it lightheadedness memory. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that clear for everybody? So you understand, so I kind of condensed steps a little bit, but we had the objective 2 to 3 times, and then we breathe heavy with the emotion exercise like we did, and then we breathe heavy like we did, like what I just did with you, Jose, where you breathe heavy while you were thinking your objective, and then finally, you get to just do the scene. So your body now gets, you know, now you've trained your body to be ready. So now you just do it. And what's going to happen is you're going to just do the scene, and certain areas are going to be lightheaded and intense, and certain areas are going to feel flat. So then you have to explore, well, why are those areas flat? Okay, so it could be because you don't understand why you're saying it. It could also be because you have to iron in the emotion and the objective in those areas because maybe you didn't yet.
So you need to be charged through the entire scene?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do. If you want to make the scene, if you want to make the scene the most interesting, yeah. If you don't, the scene's going to be flat. So it's not like you have to do this, but if you watch the greatest actors, they all have that.
Right.
Go watch Anthony Hopkins in anything he does, you know, and look at his eyes. Watch him in Hannibal. Watch him in Silence of the Lambs. Watch Edward Norton in Primal Fear. You know, watch his eyes. So how do you get that? And this is how you get it, through these tools. Now there are additional tools which we will eventually get to, through improv exercises, through scene interpretation, making sure that you understand why you're saying what you're saying, but this is the nuts and the bolts of the technique. I hope that helped. Yes? Do you have any questions, anybody?
So you need to have this technique concerning any emotion that you're portraying.
Any emotion and in every scene. So every scene you do, you should go through these steps. Now you're going to be in scenarios where you won't have time. For example, you'll go to an audition and James? Is that right, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. You can come sit down if you
I
like.
just didn't want to be rude.
No, come sit down. Come sit down. You know, you're going to have scenarios where you're not going to have time. They're going to like you, but they're going to want you to read a different role. Sit anywhere but there. Anywhere, literally. You can sit in any other seat. You can sit up here if you like. Just that's the only seat where because it's right next to my backpack, and that's how I see the seats. I forgot what I was saying.
Auditions.
Oh, so if you have auditions, they may like you, but they're going to want you to read a different role, you know, and then you're going to have to grab the scene, and you're going to have 15 to 20 minutes, and you're going to have to condense the steps. So you may have to be very selective about what you actually do. Do you do the, I can tell you right now that if you're going to cut corners, do not cut corners on the emotion, because that's 80% of acting. So if you only have time to do one thing, do the breathing. All right? Don talks about it in the book. Acting is 80% emotion, which means if you just do the emotion and nothing else, you're already a B. But if you do everything else but the emotion, the best you could be is 20%. Okay, so if you're going to cut corners, don't cut it on that. Unfortunately, it's the biggest pain in the ass to do, the breathing. It's not fun. It's exhausting to do. I know it is. It's not fun. When I have a scene, especially a long scene, it's like, oh man, here we go. The good thing is I only have to do it twice. I do it once without the objective and then once with. And then I never have to do it again unless I'm just sort of filling a little pothole to sort of charge it up in certain areas. Okay? Yeah? All right, so now we all know where I'm coming from when you guys do scenes in here. So that if you don't have that lightheaded electricity in your eyes, if you don't have heat emanating from the pores of your body when you do the scene that I can feel, then you're failing. You're not doing what, you're not bringing out what the scene is capable of bringing out, and you're not shining as bright as you can. Because this is by far the most important thing. So don't cut corners on the breathing. Unfortunately, it's the biggest pain to do. But you burn calories. It's kind of like, it's a 2-for-1 deal.